Coming up next, I'm going to do a video on 3 fragrances that are ones that they are a little bit more quirky, a little bit more out there, but they're ones that I love. They're part of my collection. I may not wear them all the time because, sometimes it's not appropriate for the right situation or a little bit hard to pull off, but they're ones I absolutely love. And you need these in your fragrance collection, meaning these type of fragrances to round out a well-balanced collection. I'm going to give you an example of 3 of them that I think are excellent choices. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose, here again from my home office here in lovely Miami. Weather is warm today, about 82 degrees, sunny, just beautiful outside. I'm looking out the windows. You can see over here, it's really bright today. All right, so today's video is going to be one I don't think I've ever done before. And these are, I'm giving 3 fragrances that are a little bit quirky. They're a little bit different. And they're not ones that you would maybe wear all the time. This is not going to be a dumb grab, where you're like, oh, I'm going out the door. I just need something that's light, or it's loved by everybody, or it's safe. It's not a safe grab. These are daring. They're different. And I think if you have a fragrance collection, you need fragrances like the 3 that I'm going to show you, whether, it's all 3 of them or, examples. These are 3 examples. You don't have to obviously have these exact 3. But I'm going to tell you why. I think that in a fragrance collection, like anything you have, like for example, your clothes collection or your shoes collection, I think you need some conservative clothes. I think you need some that are a little bit more daring, a little bit more risky. I think, again, for my personality, I like that. I like variety. I like being different. And I think to have a well-rounded anything, again, whether it be food, music, I give a music analogy. I like all types of music. I have certain ones that I gravitate more towards, like kind of classic rock. But I listen to EDM. I listen to deep house chill music. I listen to all types of things that maybe are not going to be, I'm going to listen to every day, but they're in my kind of playlist so I can hear them and keep things lively and mixed up. So same goes with fragrances. Let's get right into this. First one I'm going to show you is a fragrance called Devil in Disguise, and this is from Mark Buxton. Mark Buxton is a British perfumer, kind of indie, avant-garde. He's worked for some major, houses, but he also has his own. And I got this fragrance actually, I think, on discount from Osme a couple years ago, as they were, I guess, not selling this line anymore. And boy, I got to tell you, I have another one of his, which is a rose. It's like a kind of a metallic rose fragrance. This is a ginger bomb. If you like ginger, and I happen to love ginger as far as fragrances go, this one is the bomb. It's the best, in my opinion, ginger fragrance I've ever smelled. It smells like the ginger root. It's that intense. And it's therefore perfect for this time of year as we're going into spring and things are starting to turn green, hopefully wherever you are, or they will be soon, and life is coming up from the earth. This is a perfect fragrance. It's earthy, it's green, but not like super green. It's in this like more of a yellowish green feel about it. Again, earthy, gingery, and boy, put it on. It stays on all day. Mark Buxton always is a perfumer that takes chances. He's, again, out there. He makes things that are a little bit different. I like that. I like that about life. I like that as far as a philosophy of living. And this is one, again, I don't wear it all the time, but I wear it at least a few times a month, and it just always brings me joy. All right, next, I'm going to go to one of my many from this house, which is a Tat Libre d'Orange, and that is Une Amourette. Une Amourette, you can see it there, that's French. By the way, that translates to little fling. If you read the backstory about this, it's essentially about a tryst, a fling, an affair. So this is a very sexy, sensual fragrance. There's no other way around it. But what gets me about this one is when you smell it, the thing that sticks out to me on this one is it's got an amazing, it opens with this kind of neroli iris combination, which is very unique. I haven't smelled anything quite like this. but then it dries down into the synthetic note. Just kind of see the juice there. It dries down into the synthetic note, what's called Akigala wood. Akigala wood is made by the perfume chemical company Givaudan, and it is a synthetic note that is kind of woodsy and mossy, but it's made from patchouli oil, so it's really interesting. And it definitely, to me, has a patchouli-like quality as it dries, and you get it even from the top. And it's one of the most unique smelling wood fragrances. I have to call it wood, I mean, because of that Akigala wood note. It really is truly one of the most unique fragrances I own. If you've never tried Une Amourette from a Totale Verde Orange, you gotta try it. It's very sexy. It's kind of polarizing, I think. It's not gonna be for everyone because that Akigala wood note and the iris, and it's got some vanilla absolute in it. It is for some people maybe a little bit challenging to wear. Again, not one I wear every day, not one I wear maybe necessarily every month, but at least every month or so or every other month I put this on and I always enjoy it, and it's an important part of my collection to keep it well-rounded. And that's going to lead me to my last fragrance, which is Slow Explosions. There you go. Slow Explosions from Imaginary Authors. This is, again, hard to argue. Probably, all three of these are such unique fragrances. They're all so different, but this one may be maybe the most unique of all of them. That's why I kind of saved it for last. This is not going to be for everybody. When I'm at Osme and I sometimes am talking to people and they ask me to show them some fragrances that maybe they've never tried, this is one on my go-to list. Just hold up there. Just listen to these notes: saffron, rose absolute, leather, apple, benzoin, cashmere, and the last note is something called Arapora. It's I want to make sure I pronounce this right. Arapora Night Market. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So Arapora Night Market. This is, if you know Imaginary Authors, the last note that they list, by the way, just so you can see all the notes there. The last note that they always list on their bottles is a fictional made-up note because the entire house is based around imaginary authors. Each fragrance is based around an imaginary literary story. Very, very cool. And I've always loved this house. It's under $100 for 50 ml bottles, so you get a really good price. I think it's $95 retail. But this one, when you spray it and you smell it, I mean, just from the bottle, it is so strong. That apple note is really intense, but it's not like, a typical apple. This is not kind of a fresh apple. This is not a fresh fragrance. You get that saffron, you get that rose in there, the leather, the cashmere, which keeps it, kind of a little darker. This is one of the more interesting fragrances I own. And again, it's not one, although you can see I'm doing a pretty good job of making a dent in this. So you can see I wear this one quite a bit. And it's not one that I would probably wear on a date. By the way, all three of these, not sure. I've never worn any three of these on a date. I've never worn Une Amourette or Devil in Disguise or Slow Explosions on a date. Because again, these are more challenging. These are more for me. These are fragrances that I like that are for me. And we need these in our collection to round out and keep it fresh and keep it unique and kind of ground, what you have the other more standard ones that you wear every day. This is going to, help push your limit. And I think what these fragrances do, they open up your mind to other fragrances and it expands. So I think every time you have a fragrance in your collection that opens your mind and helps you challenge what you normally like, it increases your, of course, palate, just like in food or music or anything else when you listen to something new. So there you go. 3 fragrances that are unique. They're quirky, but I love them. And everyone needs these type of fragrances in their collection. I'll be back soon with another video, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Peace, love, and perfumes.